Hey guys, Monochrome here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. Genuinely good to have you. Got something a little special for you today. Now, I know there's a lot of knives that I review on my YouTube channel that some of my international viewers outside of America, maybe they can buy the knife that I'm reviewing, but they can't legally carry it out in public. Or in some nations, no, can't buy that at all. So I get it. For some of my viewers, for some of my subscribers, it can be a bit frustrating seeing me review a knife that is perfectly legal in America to own, and a lot of the time even EDC out in public, but in their nation, no. Well, this is for my international viewers, my international subscribers. What you're looking at here is the Gerber Straightlace, and this is about as good as an international EDC knife gets. Let's give you a closer look. Now, these light blue handle scales, which are quite nice to look at, yes, these are aluminum. They are a matte aluminum finish, but yeah, even with the matte texturing, they are a little smooth, Back here, lanyard hole, and you do get a very short clip, very thin, and to be honest, this is one of the first main issues with this knife. That is not enough daylight in between the clip and the body of the knife. I mean, because it is summertime here in America, I've been EDCing this clipped to the top of my front pants pocket, and the pants I'm wearing are formal black dress pants. So with formal black dress pants, no problem with the clip, but it is just a little tight, meaning you can forget about slipping this onto the pocket seam of your blue jeans or your typical cargo pants. So I wish Gerber had used a different clip design. Over here, a little bit of white and red peppermint love. Very nice visual cue. And this on the back, yeah, that's not jimping. You might be wondering, oh, is this, where's the thumb stud? No thumb stud. No thumb stud, no blade opening peg, disc, or hole. Now, this right here, no, that's not a blood groove. That acts as the nail nick for opening up the knife. And there's the first thing. What you have is a mirror polished blade. Looks quite nice, in a very non-threatening, non-tactical sheepsfoot design. Yes, a lot of thought went into this particular Gerber model, and I'll be the first to admit this, I mean, yeah, if if I didn't know this was a Gerber model, I would swear this was made by some other company. I mean, this is the most non-Gerber looking knife that Gerber makes. But yeah, you get a mirror polished sheepsfoot blade, very non-threatening. That long cutout is technically your nail nick feature, although thankfully the blade does not rest so deep into the handle that you can't just pinch it and open it. Now, perhaps you noticed this thing does have a half stop, which is very good because, yes, this is a slip joint. How good of a slip joint? It's decent. Compared to the resistance found on my Swiss Army knives, this is a little bit easier to begin the closing process than on those, but just a little bit. I mean, this is not something where with normal use, again, for a slip joint knife, for a slip joint with normal use, you're not going to have to worry about this thing slamming shut on your fingers. But I'll be honest, having that half stop feature, that is definitely a nice touch. Thank you, Gerber. And here's the other thing. In nations or jurisdictions where blade length is a huge issue, not only is the blade shape non-threatening, non-tactical on a slip joint knife, but the blade length is 2.9 inches. That's right, under 3. Now that's going to make this a very international carry friendly knife. Thankfully, there are few jurisdictions on this planet where an under 3-inch blade is going to be illegal. Very few, very few. Obviously, I'm not talking about nations which are full-on dictatorships and they don't want you carrying anything. But most nations on the face of this planet, you get a very non-threatening sheepsfoot blade shape, slip joint mechanism, 2.9-inch blade. Oh, and also no one-handed opening feature on the blade, no spring mechanism to assist it open. And I know for a fact that in Germany, you can carry something like this, and even if it had a locking blade, that's perfectly good. But oh, no, you can't have anything on the blade that will assist you in opening the blade one-handed. Yeah, thumb hole, thumb stud, thumb disc, thumb peg. No, absolutely not. So that's one example. In Germany, you can have a knife like this, and let's say this one actually has a lock mechanism instead of just being a slip joint. You're good. Unless there was some sort of one-hand opening feature on the blade, in which case, no. But this is good in Germany. And like I said, in a lot of other countries, internationally speaking. So, yeah, I mean, the other thing, I wear large size gloves, and yeah, I can just barely get all 4 fingers around this handle for normal use. Barely. Now, thankfully, no hot spots. Even with this clip extending upwards, even with that, no hot spots. No hot spots anywhere on this knife. That's a good thing. Now, of course, you do have to deal with the limitations of the fact that this is a slip joint. And I'll just say it now. If you are not used to using slip joint knives, it's probably best that you don't start. I mean, yeah, there are a lot of wonderful knives out there that you'll be cutting yourself off from. But I mean, it's just not worth it. Honestly speaking, as someone who's been using knives, collecting knives for almost 3 decades now, no, it's not worth it. I mean, yes, I'm used to slip joint knives, and I always have to be careful with them. Unfortunately, a lot of countries outside of America think of a lock mechanism as, oh, well, that lets you carry a knife, a folding knife with a substantial blade, folded up, and, oh, it has a lock mechanism. Well, that just makes it a fantastic weapon. No. A lock mechanism does not turn something like this, if it had a lock mechanism, into a weapon. You know what a lock mechanism is? It is a huge safety feature to make sure that if you're putting your knife through some hard use that doesn't involve injuring another human being, but some sort of mundane chore, hard use, a lock mechanism ensures that you're not going to have to worry about the blade accidentally slamming down on your fingers. And no, realistically, you're not going to cut off your finger. What's going to happen is the blade is going to hit either your index or middle finger, and if it's sharp enough, yeah, it's going to cut through. You're going to go to the hospital, you're going to get stitched up, and you're going to lose some dexterity in your hand because you're going to have severed nerve endings in one or more fingers, and you'll still have your fingers, you'll still be able to use your hand, you'll still be able to use your fingers, but not nearly as well before they got injured and before a surgeon had to stitch you up. So honestly, I mean, it's just mind-boggling how many idiot politicians are out there who don't get it. Even in my own country, they just don't get it. A lock mechanism is a safety feature, because if you're putting a knife through some mundane, hard-use chore, you need that lock mechanism as a safety feature. It prevents the blade from coming down on your fingers. That's what it is. It's not something that makes a knife a fantastic weapon. No, it makes a knife safer to use. That's what it does. Sorry, guys, bit of a rant, but the fact that a knife like this needs to exist because Gerber wants to be able to sell it internationally. Something like this shouldn't have to exist if this world remotely made sense. But it doesn't, so it does. Now, you can get this in 2 flavors. These are aluminum handle scales, and as usual, specs in the description box below. Be sure to check that out when the video is over. Aluminum handle scales, matte finish, like I said before, yes, you can reverse the clip left or right hand. And since this is a non-locking slip joint knife with no one-hand opening feature, it is also fully ambidextrous. Yep. And if this light blue color is maybe not your thing, if you think, well, I like the knife overall, but that light blue handle scale is a little bit too childish for me, or I'm just not into that color. Good news, you can get this exact same handle, matte finish, but OD green. Now, I have heard rumors that the OD green handle version is either being discontinued or is recently discontinued. This one, not. But the OD green version might already be discontinued. So if you like what you see and you'd prefer it in a slightly more serious color, OD green, might want to order one of these very soon. Gerber Straightlace. Just an overall excellent slip joint knife, especially for people living outside of America. For international viewers, yeah, this might just be your EDC knife. And if you're in America and you plan on traveling through Europe, yeah, there you go. Might be a good idea to carry this. Or maybe a more traditional Swiss Army knife. Not this one, though, because this is an older Wenger model. Also an official Swiss Army knife, just like Victorinox. Victorinox bought Wenger a while back, so this is very slowly becoming a bit of a collector's item. But you know what I mean. Still, this is, for being a slip joint, this is a very capable knife that you shouldn't have any problem EDCing. And if it does get confiscated, well, that's probably because the police officer really liked your knife and wanted it for himself. But yeah, this is a fantastic international EDC knife. Again, slip joint, very non-threatening blade shape, no one-hand opening feature at all, and a blade length under 3 inches. Very nice, very nice. Someone at Gerber did an excellent job with this one, and for what it is, I do recommend it. Okay, guys, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please continue to stay safe out there. It's still dangerous, and unfortunately, idiot politicians are running the show. It's just, this type of knife should not have to exist for Gerber's international customers, but it does. And it definitely gets a recommendation from me. Take care, guys. I'll see you soon. Stay safe out there.